Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Fearless Generations with Terry Singer and Kelly Fox.
Hello and welcome to Fearless Generations, 12 Steps to Freedom. It is Kelly Fox, and we are here talking Step 5, accountable, wrapping it all up with a pretty bow. But we are also not just integrating tonight. We are talking about proactive behaviors. So our guest host is doing double duty. Before we get to who that is, let me welcome my beautiful co-host, Terry Sayre. How are you doing tonight, Terry?
Well, I'm doing just fine, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm super happy to have our secret guest host.
It's not a secret. I just haven't announced it yet. Our guest coach tonight has been on the show several times, and she might just be our biggest fan, and we are also one of her biggest fans. So please welcome Becky Plautz.
Hey, ladies. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah. I love having you on the show because not only are you someone who we bring on as an expert in your field, as a guest coach, but you also are a consistent listener of the podcast. And I love that about you.
Yeah. Keep learning from my teachers, of course. I got to tune in every week. Always good stuff here.
Yeah, you. All right. Awesome. I love it. So what does accountable mean to you?
Ooh. Well, accountable is all about, doing what I said I was going to do and staying true to, what I'm responsible for.
Okay. So when you think about that, are you thinking about what you're responsible for to others or what you told others you were going to do?
I think it's all of it. I think it's definitely, the things that I've committed to that I said I was going to do, and whether that's for someone else or for myself, being responsible and holding myself to the standard, and responsibility comes to mind.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, I've been talking a lot on my Facebook Lives about this month about being committed to ourselves, and when we commit to ourselves and we don't tell anybody that we made that commitment, do we still keep that commitment? Can we stay committed just for ourselves? And it's not for me, I pretty much got to tell somebody I'm going to do this. And then I feel like I feel more like, okay, I'm going to do this because I told somebody I was going to.
Yep. Right? Well, I know
Even
how that works. That works well for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. So tonight we have a focus of proactive behaviors, as well as we're integrating the month because this is the last Monday of the month. So how do you feel proactive behaviors plays into being accountable?
Yeah, the proactive for me is really about, taking action. It's about being in the active role of, moving towards what we said. And instead of kind of waiting around, it's really about that action. Being ready
I totally
before, we really need to.
Yeah, I see it as setting yourself up for success. So if you're going to make a commitment to do something, putting things in play that are going to help you keep that commitment is a proactive behavior. For me, my morning routine, I have all my books and my pen and everything right where I go and sit in the morning, and it's all there for me. I have my medication right next to my bed with water so that when I wake up, I can take it. These things that I want to do consistently, I make it as easy as possible for me to do them and to be consistent at them. I'm listening to one of my new commitments this year was listening to these affirmations and recordings that I made from a book that I'm reading. And so I put the app on the front screen of my phone. So I don't forget to do it because I see it on my main screen of my phone. So there's different things like that. Like, what can you do to support yourself to be consistent with the commitments that you've made? And proactive behaviors, is definitely something you want to brainstorm around or talk to someone about or really give some thought to support you in being accountable. Terry, how about you?
Yeah, I like what I hear you saying, how you set yourself up for success, which is, there's two sides, right? There's the dark and the light, the good and the evil, however you want to say it. There are self-destructive behaviors that we can engage in around accountability, like beating ourselves up because we feel we need to be perfect at things, and that's in order to be accountable to perfection, which is a myth. We don't reach that because it's not attainable. Then we beat ourselves up, which is a self-destructive behavior. Or we can do what we can when we can, the best we can, and have compassion for ourselves, which is a proactive behavior. So when I think about being a recovering perfectionist, my proactive behavior is to tell myself and create thought patterns that are supportive rather than destructive or negative thought patterns that would allow me to doubt myself, to regret, to have to blame myself if things didn't turn out the way I expected them to. So I practice not having expectations, because to me that's also a self-destructive behavior. And so for me, my proactive behaviors are, number one, is to have compassion for myself and others, to recognize my needs and the needs of others, and to be a good listener and to make observations and to be attentive to my intentions, in the different areas of my life, like my business, my health, my relationships, to be attentive to the intentions I have in those areas of my life, and to hold myself accountable by doing what I can, when I can, the best I can, and not expecting to be perfect. So it sort of all blends together, where I have a set of non-negotiables or morning routine and evening routines that I'm committed to. And so I'm careful to be attentive to completing those, because when I complete those, I have more confidence. I'm more compassionate with myself. I'm more open to be in the present. And all of those are proactive behaviors that when I engage in them, I am more accountable to my commitments and to loving myself and then serving others. So a lot of my proactive behaviors are tied into my to the anecdotes, to things that don't serve me, like expectations, like beating myself up, like having this idea or this thinking process that perfection is attainable and that that's what I want, rather than having compassion and knowing that I can do what I can when I can, the best I can, and being intentional and attentive to my needs and to the needs of others. So those are some of my proactive behaviors, and some of the things that you mentioned, Kelly, about having things where they're easily accessed. Those are things I do as well. I have my gratitude journal in a specific place where I can do it every morning. I have, I say my prayers in the same place every morning after I make my bed, and those kinds of things that have become routines that assist me in my proactive behaviors. And I'm always aware of and willing to set up those kinds of, like I cleaned off my table in my office, and I put my scriptures in a notebook there to where it's readily available for me to access and be able to accomplish that proactive behavior that I have on a daily basis. So I think it's a combination of an internal compass as well as external behaviors that have things in a place where it makes it easy for you to access those accountable steps, like taking my medication, taking my vitamins in the morning, doing the things, making my breakfast, just all of those things that build up to me having confidence as I go forth in my day, because those are the things I want to be accountable to myself for, because they assist me in accomplishing my goals. So there's a long answer to your question.
Yeah. Beck, anything come up for you?
I mean, yeah, I have all kinds of proactive behaviors that I can, picture for myself as well. And I know that when I'm thinking forward and, like setting my day up ahead of time. So before I go to bed, really practicing the proactive behavior of writing down those main things that I'm focused on for the next day, so that when I wake up, I'm not, starting to think about what's going on for the day. That's been a big one that I've been working on staying committed to so far in this year, and that I'm really wanting to keep putting some attention to, because I know that it really serves me when I just kind of have that clear focus, that I wake up knowing exactly kind of how I want the day to go, because I have those priorities wrote down and ready for me to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I definitely think that accountability and proactive behaviors really go hand in hand. Holding ourselves accountable is a proactive behavior. So I think they definitely play nice together. And we've been talking all month about being accountable to ourselves and how that boosts our confidence and helps us to, helps us with following our intuition and, now proactive behaviors. I think that when we stay committed to ourselves, our confidence is definitely going to boost, because we're telling ourselves that we're important. We're telling ourselves that we're a priority to ourselves, that we're worthy, that our needs equal others' needs. And I think that is so important, because we can think it, but if our actions aren't matching that, then they're just thoughts, or they're just words. But when our actions actually match that, then it's it's just really empowering, because we can trust ourselves more, we see ourselves more, we value our needs and our desires more, and we see ourselves as a priority. And I think that that is something really important, I think, especially for women to do, is to see themselves as a priority. And I think that is a lesson that I am still learning.
We're always a work in progress, Kelly.
Yep.
That is true. That is true. Mm-hmm. That is true. So, Terry, over this month of Accountable and all of the many days of Terry Talks and all that we've been putting out, what stands out for you the most about Accountable, and what might be that number one tool that you would suggest someone using who is wanting to up their level of accountability?
I think one thing that we've talked about a couple of times is it's just like Rhonda Britton says, you can't be fearless alone. I think that having partners or family members or friends or someone that you trust to assist you in being accountable is really a blessing. And a lot of us have accountability partners. I think that there are people in my life that I trust, that I can talk to about my goals and my dreams, and talk to about the times that life is all about challenges and opportunities. And when I'm challenged, and someone that I know I can trust that can really help me to hold myself accountable, that sometimes that is really powerful. And I know you have accountability partner that you talk to frequently, and oftentimes you are my accountability partner. And all of my daughters at times can be my accountability partner to assist me to believe in myself, to trust myself, and to be accountable to myself. And during this time of my recovery from my recent health issue, I've neglected to reach out to people to help me to be accountable. And so I've just recently begun to do that, because I recognized that I was creating thought patterns that were not proactive. They were more self-destructive. And I think so being aware and willing to be reflective, being aware and willing to listen to your intuition, and to then be accountable to take action on those insights and those reflections to change your course, to change your thought patterns, to actually create those thought patterns in your mind that are going to hold you accountable to hold me accountable to my recovery, because that's what I'm working on. And to do that in a proactive way, in a positive way, that the thought processes my thoughts are actually going to empower me and not disempower me. And so I think that's been a really helpful process that I've gone through the last month, and just recognizing that, like Napoleon Hill says, what you think is what you get, and just creating those new patterns that help me to see, yes, I am recovering. Yes, I can recover. I can go back to the same level of activity and engagement that I was a month ago, back before January 7th. And that holding myself accountable to my thoughts has created this shift in my thinking, and made a big difference in my willingness to believe that I can do that. And that, I think that's really important for us when we're thinking about accountability, is to empower ourselves with our thoughts. in order to do those things and be those things and have those things that are positive in our lives, that are proactive.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the tool that comes to my mind is intentions. And, you know, really thinking about what it is that we want to practice, what it is that we want to shift, how do we want to be more accountable to ourselves and our dreams and who we want to be and who we are, and setting a really mindful intention of what we want to practice, and then hold ourselves accountable to practicing that. And, you know, what are those things that we can do that we can measure that shows that we're practicing it? You know, there's all different ways that we can measure our intention and how it's supporting us and how it's, you know, getting us closer to where we want to be. And I think intentions are really powerful when it comes to being accountable. Beck, is there a tool that you have that supports you with being accountable to yourself? Is there something that you use or that you would maybe suggest to a client?
Well, of course, the Work on Purpose with Purpose community, the action hours, is a huge accountability for me to show up and give myself some positive pressure to really focus on what are the things that I'm going to do. And outside of that, I really love, you know, making my daily focus sheet. Like I said, I need to write things down and really see the progress that I'm making, because I'm very visual. My background is photography, and, you know, seeing any kind of visuals is always helpful for me. So I love making those lists. I love having my daily pages inside of the OP journal, and really being able to track the progress supports me.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, my work life completely changed when I became active in the On Purpose with Purpose community. I was very inconsistent with when I worked and how often I worked and how long I worked, until I started getting in the habit of showing up at action hours. And, I mean, that was the I don't know what you would call it, but like the thing that supported me the most with being more consistent with working on my business. And like, I can't even think now, when I think back about how I worked before OP, I seriously can't even think of how I did it. And so I love that you brought that up, and it had me realize that I didn't give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and what it is that you get to do and who it is that you get to serve. So we're almost at time anyway, so take this time to talk about On Purpose with Purpose and our community, and how it fully supports you to be accountable. And it is one huge, amazing proactive behavior.
It is one huge proactive behavior. I love it. Well, yes, I am Becky Plautz. I am all about elevating, connecting, and championing women to be seen, heard, and remembered for the impact that they make. So I serve women. I am a photographer. I am a podcaster, and the virtual co-work space and growth community of Work on Purpose with Purpose is about to celebrate their 5-year business birthday, which is so wild to say. I know. Super exciting. And it is one big proactive behavior. And rightly, because I needed it for me. You know, it was first and foremost built for me to utilize it, for us to utilize it and figure out how we can bring more people in to support them and build community and have a safe space and a fun, authentic space to be able to practice our proactive behaviors of, moving through our day, having some energy, and really building that stronger together atmosphere in a virtual world.
Yeah. We were virtual before it was cool.
That's right. So grateful for virtual, but I want to be with you in person and hug you every chance I get.
Yep. For sure. Yeah, I am a managing contributor or an MC in the Work on Purpose with Purpose community, and so I hold space for 3 action hours, and they are the fearless action hours, of course. And so if any of our listeners are interested in checking out what an action hour is, what the community is all about, reach out to me and I will give you the link, and you can come join me anytime in my action hours. They're on Wednesdays from 9 to 12 Pacific time. I have 3 hours back to back, and you can come anytime in that 3-hour block. And I will introduce you to the action hour, to the On Purpose with Purpose community, and show you what it's all about. Terry?
Did you say something that I was supposed to say? I think, Becky, can you tell people how to get a hold of you and how to find out about On Purpose with Purpose and the other things that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. You can go to Becky Plautz, my name.com, and it has all the information on there to check out Work on Purpose with Purpose, the podcast, the photography that I do, ways to just connect with me. It's all located right on my website, and I would love to connect with you. I'll put that in the, I know that you're going to tell me to make sure that I put that in the Facebook group because I'm an avid listener. So I will absolutely share that, and I would love to, give anyone that's listening the opportunity to grab a daily focus sheet and experience having those 3 priorities wrote down on a paper to support you. I'd be happy to give that worksheet to them.
Awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and put that in the group too, the opportunity and what it is and how they can get it.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah. So we want to remind you all that the 12 Steps to Freedom were created by Rhonda Britton, the CEO and founder of the Fearless Living Institute. If you would like to know more about Fearless Living, please go to fearlessliving.org. To know more about Terry and I and all of the amazing things that we do, go to fearlessgenerations.org, and you can find out everything there, plus all the past 9 or so years of the podcast are there for you as well. If you want to go back and listen to all the different episodes Beck has been on or whatnot. We appreciate you being here with us, Beck, and always being a big fan of the podcast and supporting us the way you do.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here for another round and looking forward to continuing to tune in.
Awesome. Any last words, Beck?
Any last words?
About accountable?
No, I don't know. Stay true to what you say you want in your life and take one step toward it today.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, I kind of put you on the spot there. All right. Well, thank you again for being here with us. Please come back next week. And until then, everybody, be fearless.
Good night.
is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino-style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses, so don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.